not care. Hey guys, what's up? Hey, I am back with my roommate. I did a video with her a while ago and it was the roommate tag. I'm going to link that in the description box below. But this is my roommate, Abbie.
Hey guys.
Yeah, so basically this story time is not planned or anything, but we're just gonna tell you about some experiences that we had where we basically escaped a cult.
That's what it felt like.
So I'm gonna preface this by saying that, saying that it was a cult is extremely overdramatic and it's not really a cult at all, but like she just said, it's kind of how it felt. She and we share an ex. And that said ex, we were together for a while.
They were. He and I were only together for like a few months.
That's because you cheated on him.
I mean, it happened.
Pew pew pew, shots fired!
It doesn't happen.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
It shouldn't happen.
It does not happen anymore.
Anyway, he and I were together for a very long time, and when he and I first got together, my friends that I was friends with throughout high school, because he and I got together my senior year, so my friends that I was friends with became friends with his friends that he was friends with, and we all culminated.
That's how we became friends.
Yeah, that's how we met originally.
Which was good in the long run.
So we all culminated into like this very large group of people, and we ended up, she and I were trying to count them earlier, and it was like at least 15 people in this group of friends.
That was like the main people. There were like other ones that were occasionally there, but there was probably upwards of 20.
It was a lot of people.
Yeah.
It was a lot of people. And like, you should have seen our group at lunch, because like, we would be sitting in like the corner, like literally, we're that group of weird kids that you would, my friend Sammy here on YouTube, we were talking about this video before we were filming it, and she made this reference, and she was just like, you're that group of kids that like has all their own drama, and like everything feels like the end of the world to you guys, but all the normal kids are just like, what the fuck is going on? So that was our friend group. So imagine it, like there's this like L-shaped cafeteria, and we were literally in the corner of like the bottom part of the L. Like everybody's over here and we're like down back in this corner by the industrial tech wing.
Definitely the weird kids.
And we were like the kind of kids that like threw backpacks at each other, and like
one of our friends always played music on her iPad, like loud. Like she would take her headphones out and play the music, and we'd all be like, shut up, and she's like, no, I like the music, I'm gonna keep it. And it annoyed everyone, even like other people in the cafeteria. Like they would stare at her and like it was annoying, but she just did it anyway because she didn't care.
Reeling back to the point of this video, which is basically we escaped the cult, the reason why I'm saying that is because with having such a large group of people, like, and I get it, like, you know, friends and like stuff like that, like you hate people by association. If your best friend hates somebody, you're gonna hate them too, just because that's like the natural order of things. But this group of people took it to a marking level that was like up to Mars,
like,
okay?
Yeah.
When the ex that we shared, when I broke up with him, it was a huge, just cluster of a bunch of bullshit. And my friend Sammy was in on it, and she like inadvertently caused drama that you heard about.
There was some cyberbullying going on.
A little bit of cyberbullying, just a little.
From both sides though. It wasn't just Sammy and it wasn't just our old friends. It was everyone involved.
The reason why I say it was relative to a cult is because, referencing to some of the drama that was caused, I never did anything like this because I thought it was fucking stupid, but all of you guys did it. Ask.fm. If any of you guys ever used Ask.fm, please chime in the comment section below, because some of the drama that was caused was because of Ask.fm.
Most of the drama because of that. Because you could do anonymous on there. So it was easy to be a bully. That's why that site didn't last very long.
And so, when I broke up with him, they completely ostracized me. They were like, this person's a piece of bull. Everybody called me a which, I mean, I was like, okay, that's not relevant. But alright, I'll accept it. And I remember when I had my big blow up with Chelsea, that was, she called me like a social chameleon. And she's like, I blend in with anybody I hang out with.
Like, what does that even mean? Like, of course you're gonna find things in common. Like, what? How is that a bad thing?
So, like, the group would ostracize you completely whenever you were different, whenever you did something they didn't like, or anything like that. For example, we had a friend, his name was Drew. By the way, I'm using real names in this video, because I don't care. So, we had a friend, and his name was Drew, and he was dating somebody named Whitney, and Whitney had cheated on Drew repetitively, like...
She was worse than me, I'll say that.
So, they were still together, and everybody in the group was forcing Drew to be like, you know what, we don't like Whitney, you should break up with her. Because we don't like her. Because we don't like her, you need to break up with her. That's why you need to, not because you don't want to, or not because like you feel like you need to, but because we don't like her, we think you should break up with her. That's how the group was.
But to her face, they were her best friend. And they were like, oh, we love you guys together, you're so cute, and da 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 da. Behind her back, they were like that to Drew.
Yeah, and they're just like, it was awful. So when Drew actually finally broke up with Whitney because of the constant pressure of everybody, he was devastated. Like, I mean, he had just broken up with the girlfriend that he had for like 2 or 3 years. Yeah, like constantly.
And in high school, that's a huge deal.
My relationship with our ex that we shared was only 9 months. Like, Josh and I were together
Mine
for
was only like
9
5.
months. So, like, 2 or 3 years is significant.
Yeah.
And so he was like bummed and broken and everything like that. And everybody in the group was throwing a party like it was fucking Mardi Gras. They were so ecstatic and so happy. Chelsea made Whitney cry during gym one day, and she was like bawling her eyes out during lunch because everybody was just like, you're gone now, we can beat you to the ground and act like you're the piece of bark that we think you are. And that's just, again, how our friend group was. So I'm gonna let you go into how you and Becca had your little exit out of the group.
Oh god. No, so it was me and this girl that I was dating, and I had been dating for like a year and a half. I was my old cheater self, and so I went back and forth between her and one of our other friends, Robbie, who I had dated before that, but it was just this whole big thing. Who now, Whitney, ironically, is now married to Robbie, but we won't even go there.
I mean, they're cool people. They're cool people. It's whatever.
Yeah, they're fine, but it's just like sloppy seconds.
The irony of everything.
Yeah, no, but it was awful, and I think the reason we stopped talking, or we got kicked out of the group, basically, was... The cult, yes. Was because Becca had another friend whose name was also Abbie, and Abbie had shared an ex with Lily. We brought Abbie over on a Halloween party, and that was the night that you guys were all in there, and you acted like you weren't home because you didn't want to talk to Abbie or see
No,
us.
that wasn't Halloween, that was New Year's Eve.
Or no, New Year's Eve, yeah. That was one of the last times because of that whole thing. And then after that, Lily was so mad, and the ex that they shared, Dakota, was also there, wasn't he? And he was all mad about that, and everybody got pissed about that. So they kind of stopped talking to us, but we still kind of hung out with everybody. But you could tell that they all kind of hated us, and the two of us kind of did our own thing over in the other corner. Like, everybody was in this main area, and we were like over here.
It's because they do this thing where they like if you're disliked by one person, there's this constant just feeling among everybody where it's just like, you know they don't like you. You know they're talking shit about you. You don't know what they're saying, but you could probably make a pretty good guess.
Yeah.
And it's just like this incredible uncomfortable feeling.
But then the whole thing, it was kind of a bull reason that we stopped hanging out with them and stopped going there, because we were all hanging out one day and we went over to the exes that we share. We went over to his house, and there was a shortage of chairs because there was like 15 of us, but there were only like 5 chairs, and not even a couch. Just like 5 chairs.
Hashtag planning.
Right. So we all had to sit there, and so Becca and I were like, well, we're together, so we'll sit on the chair. And it just so happened to be a massage chair. And so Becca was like, well, let's turn it on. And I was dumb and straddled her instead of sitting like a normal person. So it looked a little bad, but everybody was like, you're like fucking on the chair. And Cassie got all pissed off and was like, you guys need to leave if you're gonna be inappropriate. So we left, and we just never came back, because after that, nobody talked to us anymore.
Sitting on someone makes you inappropriate?
Apparently. Because I think Cassie was homophobic. Even though Zoe, Whitney, and like look at Cheyenne!
Josh?
And Cheyenne is now Chase. And I saw Cassie the other day. She came into my job. She came into Sam's.
No.
Yes. She came into my job and she was in like the cafe area and I was on my register.
See you?
Yeah, we made eye contact. She looked at me and she gave me the biggest death glare I have ever seen. I was like, we graduated high school 3-4 years ago and you are still gonna be that petty that glares at when you walk into my job. Like, no, you can get over it and grow up.
Like it has been 3 years.
I know, like I am just like, whatever, I'm not even talking to you. But like she just kind of, she glared at me.
Cassie is like the ringleader of all the hate. Because like she reminds me of Kai from Cult on AHS right now. Because like she doesn't kill any, probably would, but she doesn't kill anybody. But like I hate her.
The reason I even joined into this group was because I had German class with Whitney and I had choir with Zoe. And Zoe and I had the same backpack and so we flipped it in choir freshman year. Like they got mixed up and I realized it and caught up with them and that's how we started talking.
Okay, so there was one time after Casey and I got together because Casey is Josh's object of affection because like he was obsessed with Casey for the longest time. Yeah, turns out I won the game. So I ended up tweeting something along the lines of that because Josh had like done a lot of subtweeting and like sub-posting on Facebook about like our relationship and how he was like butthurt and salty and I tweeted him back and I was just like, that's just because I won. Like you're mad because I got the golden ticket.
Right.
Like, so sorry about it. But Cassie tweeted me back and she was just like, you need to stop being a little bark. He's trying to grow up and move on with his life, blah blah blah, whatever. And I was just like, LMAO, okay. Because first off, you're the one that tweeted about my relationship and then you jump in on your best friend bark. Like he can't fight his own battles for him.
Pretty sure she wanted to get into his pants.
Oh, I wouldn't.
Like Cassie's been in love with Josh since like middle school. Not even gonna lie. Like always, because she's the girl next door that's been in love with him. Like they literally live.
Although she's not the girl next door because she lives in a house that's a zoo.
Her house is so disgusting. Their dogs stay in the bedroom and never leave. Not even to go outside to go to the bathroom. They go in the bedroom. Like I went in that house once and I never wanted to go back in. I was like, hell no. I'd rather bark than go in that house. Literally, no, thank you. No. It was awful.
Oh my. I never went inside her house. I just heard some horror stories, quite apparently.
Only time I've been in there. Zoe stayed the night all the time and Whitney stayed there all the time and like no. Whenever I stayed the night with them, we were always at Whitney's or Josh's. Like
you're like, nah.
Nah. Oh, it's at Cassie's? My mom said no. Like, sorry about it. And I had strict parents, so they didn't question it.
Yeah. Once you're, it's like not hard to leave the group because like obviously you choose who to surround yourself with, but like once you're like in the group, you feel like you can't, like they make you feel like you have to be friends with everybody. It was this weird aura.
Yeah.
It was just awkward. Again, we're probably being over dramatic by like referencing it to a cult, but like that's just kind of how it felt. It was crazy. But yeah, that was our story time on surviving a cult. I'm totally gonna call it that, like clickbait title so much. Whatever. So yeah, that was our video. Please leave a like on this video if you actually liked it. Also leave a like if you want to see more videos with Abbie in the future. Make sure to subscribe for more from me and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.
Bye.